Good afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, March 17, 2024, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. If you were to describe the God within us, the pure consciousness, there are no words to do that, at least not in the language on this planet. We do the best we can to come up with certain words that we believe can, kind of describe it. But there really aren't any. Because we are infinite souls, beyond the ideas of freedom and love. And we will continue to exist long after this story has been forgotten by you in this world. Your being is naturally expansive and completely free. We've just been kind of covering up our true infinite nature with stories. We are vaster than this universe, all the connecting universes, and beyond. The power that we are, is not something that we're drained, okay? We don't lose our power. When we say we give our power away, that's a figure of speech. We're not really giving our power away. What we're doing is that we aren't using it. In fact, it should be stated that you're not using your power instead of you're giving your power away. You're just not using it. You don't know that you have it. See? And that's why most of us don't use it, because we don't know we have it. We are convinced across this planet to believe that we are weak, powerless, and controllable by fiends, demons, pure evil, manipulation and deceit and dishonesty. And first, have you noticed that the civilization has become so fearful that very few people trust themselves and very few people trust anybody else? How can you trust anybody else if you don't trust yourself? Right? And doubting everything, and mostly everybody, and worrying, stressing, and fearing that someone or something is going to get you. This is all an accumulation of an illusion through the ego mind, which has been continually played on all of us for hundreds of thousands of years. And it will come, the time will come where we will transcend any story. Is that our ego loves the drama of an emotionally juicy adventure. Right? It's like chocolate ice cream to a child. Our life's traumas and deep issues are so personal, wild, crazy, and feel so real that they often make us feel unique and that we are even someone superior or special. You see that, don't you? Don't we see that in this society? Truth is, all of us were born uniquely super special. And we all have the same core issues deep inside. And these core issues are about being unloved, unwanted, abandoned, and unworthy. What a great recipe, isn't it? To instigate massive transformation in one's lifetime. Now, some of us might find ourselves sticking to these issues because the mind gets busy entertaining the victim story instead of being truly curious about recognizing our divine infinite nature. Infinite nature, divine. These personal issues can make up a major part of who we think we are. So to let go of them, in many ways, can feel like letting go of your entire identity. So if you dropped the story, you would have to do the scariest thing of all. You'd need to totally reinvent yourself. That's scary. That's scary for a lot of people. But maybe this isn't such a bad thing. We could choose to only be loved, free, powerful, and without any limitations. And we'd ask ourselves, is this a challenge you would be willing to take on? Letting go of your story may feel like dying. To some people, yet in the end, there is no death without some kind of rebirth. So one may ask, how does one truly transcend their story? How do you do it? Just watch it. Don't participate in it. Notice if you are focusing on what you want or don't want. See how present you are to the moment, the now moment, or just reprogramming yourself with more illusions from your past. Now, the experience any of us have will always be created from our personal interpretation and universal perception. Now, if you find that you are really stuck putting energy into how you aren't enough of this or that, and you may simply need some tools to shift your experience, here's a good way to do it. Don't repeat your story, right? When you hear yourself telling somebody your famous story that makes you feel small, powerless, or less than divine, stop. Just stop. Just say to yourself, I'm not going there. Don't care to go there, right? Even if it's in mid-sentence. As soon as you stop repeating it, you stop giving it energy. And the story soon withers away. Stop the mouth from talking. Don't move a muscle. Be absolutely still and silent. And investigate deeper inside to discover where this story is coming from and what this part of you actually is yearning to feel, be, do, or have. So we kind of become an archaeologist, explorer. We start digging. Now, if we are socializing while we are storytelling, right, and we need some space to do the digging, then just kind of gently remove yourself from the situation and go sit somewhere. I know that kind of sounds strange. And investigate the source of who this saboteur is. What's the source? Is it worth it? And these stories can ruin our lives or transform them. When we take time to really look at our stories, we will discover what it takes to transcend them completely by simply seeing how our story is an illusion of the past that the ego is stubbornly holding on to, and we are instantly free of it. This clogs us up on our spiritual journey. In other words, don't go into it, be outside of it. Watch it. You're not judging, you're watching and you're learning. You take 5 steps back. Your freedom comes from finding the space between you and your story. What is the story? Well, you develop a thing that you tell people about yourself and things that you've done and experienced and everything. We all do it. We all have, we have these stories. And the stories we develop kind of, we feel comfortable with them, right? And they're part of us because the mind holds on to them for dear life, forever and ever and ever. So, it's like when you go into the past and you reminisce and you say this, you bring the past up to people and you say this, 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 and this. And you do it. You don't just do it once, you do it a lot, when you interact with people. Oh, I remember when, and this, and that, and I was in this, and this happened to me, and this, and so on and so forth. When we are separate from the story, it is easier to see the truth of it and be free from it. So what do we put in place of our story? Right? There's this big space. We fill it with gratitude. When we identify the story, right, that we are most attached to, the one that we repeat the most often, each time we start repeating it, we simply state one thing, that we are grateful for. I say, I am grateful for the very moment I'm in. That's what I say. That's what I do. I am grateful for the very moment I'm in. And this happens automatically for me. It's not something that I have to think about or write down. I've practiced it so much that and even in the most stressful situations, I will stop myself and say, I'm deeply grateful for the very moment I am in. And what does it do? It eases. I go into being at ease and not frustrated and not irritated and everything. I switch gears. And I've done it so many times that it's automatic. It just comes in. I don't do it to get something. It's not that. I don't do that. Well, if I say this, then maybe the universe will give me something good. No, I say it because I feel it. That's why I say it. It comes from my heart mind. It's super powerful. And, we have all of these abilities. It's just that we're just not in practice of using them, nor are we aware of most of them that we contain. So we refocus our minds on what is working in our lives. There's always something working, okay? May not be huge, maybe it is, but there's always something working well in our lives. And the question comes up, what are you grateful for right now? I'm grateful for the moment I am in. Because that's all we have. There are literally thousands and thousands of things that we can choose to be grateful for, no matter where we are or who we are. There's so many things. You'd be drinking a glass of clean water, maybe the structured water. You say to yourself, I am deeply grateful for this water. There's no way you can run out. There's no way. Even if you're just cantankerous and irritated and life sucks and everything's coming down and you're just absolutely had it. You're tired, frustrated, burned out. You'd be amazed how bright the light is that comes in when you sit down in the moment and say, I am deeply grateful for this very moment I am in. Doesn't matter what's going on around you. Doesn't matter what's going on inside of you. It shifts the frequencies immediately. And this gives us an opportunity to notice. Just look around at this planet, around this world. Notice the beauty, the detail, and the exquisite abundance. See, the more time that we do this, the faster our ego stories will die and become distant memories, if that at all. We automatically send out positive energetic vibrations. Which in turn magnetize to us the kind of positive, uplifting thing we want to manifest. And once we leave our stories behind, we can see the truth of our existence and experience total freedom from our ego's suffering and limiting beliefs. This helps us, it will help you, to be liberated once and for all from your stories. When we look at this world, this planet, as watchers, not judges, through our heart minds, we see a lot of things going on that we normally would not, because we are in it and not outside of it. See? We are not of it. So your perspective, you see you see so many different things when you step out of it. How do you feel, or how do you believe what would happen on this planet if many of us understood that abundance, okay, is the inherent nature of this universe? All universes, all dimensions, that it is the inherent nature. So, you start when you're outside, not when you're in there, okay? You then see that we live in a truly massively abundant universe where there is a plethora of things, ideas, love, money, friends, opportunities, all the time, all around us. Even though some of us may not feel it at all the time, it's always there. Always there right now. We don't have to search for it. Wait, what? We go searching for it outside of ourselves? How crazy is that when we are actually the abundance? And this universe, 24/7, is always sending us loads of good energy. Always. New ideas. And people to help us tap into feeling this natural abundant state. The only way we can experience it goes against everything we've been taught for generations. And what is that? To experience it, we simply let go of trying to achieve it. Trust it is here, now, and gently practice receiving it. Don't you feel the frequencies and the energies that for so long on this planet, everything has been bottled up, right? Hidden away. All the abundance has been bottled up, hidden away, so that we feel lacking, fearful of not having enough, irritable, worried. And we emulate to tap into the abundance is to let ourselves move and undulate and flow with this life. Become like the natural waves in the ocean and surrender to this water-like flow of energy inside you. Our real life is like a dancing river of energy that will continue on well after these bodies we are in are gone and dust. To tap into this wonderful fluidity inside, you find your breath and align yourself with its movement. It will lead you directly into the abundant flow that's here now. Only pay attention to what you are grateful and thankful for. Only pay attention to this. Because the more gratitude we have, the more abundance we will attract. Demanding energy, right? A lot of people have this demanding energy, only creates more poverty, consciousness, and lack of things to be grateful for. And there's a lot of people on this planet in this very now moment that are demanding energy. Demanding this, demanding that, wanting this now, getting this now. And all that does is create more poverty and more poverty consciousness and lack of things to be grateful for. Quote from Mary Manon Morrissey. What we believe to be true moves through the lens of our minds as living energy and becomes the reality of our lives. If we believe ourselves to be limited, we get to be right about that. But it is not our ultimate truth. Now, each of us will come to the conclusion and know to drop our shields and embrace our abundant nature. Why is that? Most of us, believe it or not, have created such thick walls that they block us from our very nature of abundance. They block us from it. Do we know that? Not really. No. Are we consciously aware of that? No. You see how frustrating that can get? And why is that? Well, these walls or shields protecting our heart from getting hurt, conned, deceived, or abandoned again. That's what we do. So, remove any shielding around your heart and imagine tossing it into a great bonfire. Let your armor melt away. Now, if the shielding feels like it is still there or coming back, simply invite the fire inside of you to consume your heart and any walls it has. And breathe deeply and physically open your arms wide inviting this fiery purification to remove all defenses from your life. Now, when you feel that all shields are removed, walls, bars, however you perceive it, with several deep breaths, imagine pulling everything in the entire universe into your heart. All creation is pouring into your heart. The stars, planets, earth, and all beings. Feel how truly abundant life really is. And make the statement to yourself. Proclaim you are an abundant being. And one of the best ways to remain in the flow of abundance is to practice knowing that you are an abundant, infinite being that will never die. Because it's an energy, right? It's a flow of highly charged, positive, infinite energy. And the more we open up, feel this energy, share it with others, the more we will naturally feel this abundance inside ourselves. We've all been on this planet. We have been conditioned and programmed throughout the ages. With what? Due to the past conditioning or scarcity thinking. Lack of. Not going to be enough. To truly break this old programming, and that's exactly what it is, for 5 minutes a day, do this exercise. Imagine opening your attention to all that surrounds you. Tune into the abundance of things, the richness, nature, and people on this planet who are creating everything for us. We don't look at it that way because we've been so conditioned. They're giving us food, water, all the pleasures that come with living in society. Feel this abundance of support around you now, letting it touch your very core. Let it in, see? Let in the abundance of joy, pleasure, opportunities, and laughter into your heart. You're already deeply and eternally loved, and will always be deeply and eternally loved by the massive abundance of this universe. Consciously open the door now. Proclaim the truth to the universe by stating, I am truly an abundant being. Shout the message out over and over, internally and externally, till you feel that it has penetrated deeply into your soul. This is reprogramming ourselves. This is our true spiritual journey. This is part of it. It's bringing us to the understanding that we've been abundant beings within ourselves forever. But when you're programmed with no memory for hundreds of thousands of years to believe that things are lacking, there isn't going to be enough for you, what's going to happen to you? This is all ego mind induced. These steps, if we choose them, it's up to us to choose them. That's it, period. No one's going to force you to do them. Only you and your heart mind will do them. You become a channel of love for others. Any of us can instantly become a channel for the highest vibration in this universe, love, by gifting your time spontaneously to someone who needs it. Maybe it's yourself, okay? Doesn't have to be someone else. Maybe you need it. Can you see that it is lacking? Can you? All over this planet. Can you see it here in our country, that it's lacking all over the place? Can you see the tension? Now remember, you're watching, you're not in it. Can you see the stress, the anxiety, the worry, the insatiable fear, the unknowingness? Remember, I've talked about through the years that you will become the ones that those who don't know gravitate to. These are people that you'll give a hug to that you sense are lacking love. Share new inspirational ideas with others. Email someone this inspiring information. Give presents to people just for fun. You don't have to spend money on them. Share something beautiful you have created, like a music or poetry. And it's just automatic. You will spontaneously feel better when you reconnect with this joy of giving freely. You don't give to get. That's the ego mind. You give freely. Just imagine what your world will be and feel like when everybody feels that there is an abundance of love, money, energy, and joy to share freely. Can you sense it? Can you feel it in your heart mind? But what would the ego mind control people say? Oh, that's just silly. Wouldn't work. Civilization isn't ready for it. Huh. Be the first to start the trend. All greed, fear, and lack will be eliminated when we all share freely from this truly abundant state. It will be not doable to feel poor at the end of the day, having given your love and light away freely. See, this is, we, at times, during the holiday, okay? I don't call it Christmas because we don't, we were deceived on what Christmas is all about. When Jesus was born, no one really knows actually, because no one was there, and there was no record keeping. So, and he was just a man who had some insight. So during the holiday, we all, we kind of lower our shields, not totally, and we give freely. Why do we give? Some of us feel compelled to give. We feel compelled. Well, it's what everybody does. Didn't you get Grandma a present? Oh, you got to get her a present. Okay. How about a hug for Grandma as a present? Oh, then you're being a cheapskate. You see how society works? You see how the programming works? So gratitude is the golden key to swimming in the grand, abundant river of life. And people go, well, I'm grateful for things. Yeah, oh, that's great. But are you grateful 24/7? See, when we understand we are formed out of deep eternal love and we are natural abundant beings. Okay? Undulate, flow, move. Abundance isn't supposed to be stuck in a corner or a cave forever. It's supposed to undulate, move, circulate throughout the planet and the people. And then we become a channel of abundant, flowing feelings for ourselves and everyone around us. It's easy to do. You take 3 minutes each morning. The moment you wake up, and focus on the feelings of gratitude as soon as you wake up. Of gratitude. What amazing things are you thankful for in that very moment? Let a wellspring of thankfulness, relief, and joy to flow all over your body and inside you. Practice mastering gratitude this week by implementing the 4 things I've just shared with you. There's many things happening on this planet. We all know that. But the majority of them, and I emphasize the majority, the major part of them, are an illusion. When something comes at you, right, that's maybe overwhelming or just unfathomable, you do have a choice. Many people right now on this planet are feeling very overwhelmed. Can you sense that? This world and its consciousness, and I wouldn't say the God within, okay, are changing faster than ever before. And we all know it. It's massively accelerated. Sometimes our minds have trouble navigating these changes, but we have a choice. We do not have to let chaotic feelings of overwhelm rule our existence. What the heck do? You learn how to let go, relax, remain receptive to what this life has to offer you. You can choose to refocus your energies on what is healing and create a more relaxed and enjoyable way of living that deeply nourishes your body, mind, and soul. It's good to know for every one of us that we humans can only reap the richest and most fulfilling rewards life has to offer when we are living life from a relaxed, centered, and peaceful place. And for us to transcend something, it helps to better understand it. Right? It's like you say, why do I feel so overwhelmed? Well, it first originates from those deeper beliefs that say that we should or shouldn't be experiencing something. And we judge the experience that we are having. And that feeling, right, of overwhelming can often contain this internalized time pressure from deadlines that we, not your boss, that not your life, but that you have placed on yourself. So this means we choose to have too much to do and too little time. And it's all about over-promising to ourselves and under-delivering. And you know what? None of us are exempt from that. And it's a choice. So, yeah, if we continue buying into all the things our mind says we have to do, and how everything must be done as soon as possible, happiness can seem like an impossible dream. This is all connected to thoughts. If we believe in all the ideas that our mind is constantly spinning around us, we will feel trapped in our lives. But see, thoughts are harmless in themselves. Harmless. But it's when we latch on to our thoughts like a life preserver and believe that they are the true reality of our existence, that suffering is created in our world. And if we are constantly chasing the illusions of our mind, we will simply end up tired, frustrated, and overwhelmed. And I have heard so many people say this: I'm tired. I'm just mentally tired. I want to go home. I'm so frustrated about all this stuff on this planet. And this mind of ours has been programmed to endlessly search, seek, and pillage to do what? Right? To find happiness out there, fulfillment, and abundance in the outer world. And this constant search will never satisfy any of us and will only bring exhaustion. You ever heard somebody, maybe they've lived, 70, 80, 90, 100 years, and they just say, I'm exhausted. I'm done. Right? This is the perfect experience so that we will retire the mind and discover the infinite spiritual source of our true being. And the only way, because I'm telling you, there have been many ways and avenues tried. But the only way we find that true happiness and fulfillment that our mind desperately seeks is to recognize always that the God source is always here now. I'll join you in a meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. You have never failed. Failure is truly impossible. All experiences are successful in that they teach you valuable lessons. It's time to stop letting fear of failure guide your actions. Instead, let your heart's joy, full exuberance show you the way. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We'll return here Monday, March 18, 2024. Well, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you.